What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Mod Cars Daily, hosted by yours truly, Tyler. So today I'm going to show you guys how to replace lower control arms in a 2005 Subaru Legacy. So all you Subi guys out there, this video is for you. You know, hashtag Subi gang. Also, if you guys haven't yet, hit that subscribe button because I make videos every single Wednesday. Did you say every single Wednesday? Yeah, yep. I said every single Wednesday I'll have a new video for you guys. But before we go to the shop, I'm gonna need some peanut butter and banana sandwich and some chocolate cashew milk. Cheers! First off, what you want to do is jack up the car and make sure the whole front end's jacked up so we have the sway bar link nice and free. Next thing you want to do is remove the sway bar link. It'll be a lot easier to do it right away. And I have a video that I'm going to post up here and also in the description below to show you how to replace these. By the way, I highly recommend using this to spray on your bolts. You spray it on the thread and let it sit there for a little bit, and it helps out a lot with seized bolts. It really does help. I know it's kind of hard to see right now, but there's a bolt right here. It's a 14mm bolt. I know it's really hard to see. It's kind of shitty right now. But there's a bolt right here that's 14mm. And you want to do is just remove this out. So as you can kind of see, remove the bolt, but a broken side. So long story short, I'm gonna have to take a pickle fork, took the nut off. I believe it was a 19mm or 3/4 inch. I have to separate it, take the hub off, and extract that bolt. Now this is not gonna happen for everybody, but in my case it did. It didn't happen on the other side, so I was thankful, but it happened on this side. So I have to remove the whole hub, which is take this lug nut off, take this hub off, and remove these top two pieces, and the hub comes off. Now that we have the hub out of the way, I really hope you guys don't have to go through this yourself, but just in case, I'm going to show you the process. I did one side already, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, so I brought my hub to the shop. We'll see it tomorrow, but yeah, we'll just finish this install. So hopefully you guys don't have to do that. I didn't have to remove the hub on the other side. I just literally remove the bolt that connects to the ball joint to the hub, and then the other two bolts that hold the lower control arm, and then also the sway bar link, and it just popped off. So, you know, you live and you learn. Sometimes you go through these things, and you know, just gotta determine whether you want to let that hold you or you want to keep going and grow. So let's go finish this install. Okay, so there's a bolt right here, which is the same size. The nut is the same size as your lug nut, so about 19mm or 3/4 of an inch. Also, there's a nut here and a nut. Whoa, stop, hold up. Alright, I know what you're thinking. You guys are thinking like, what the this guy doesn't know the difference between a bolt and a nut? What the hell, can this guy even count to 10? Well, joke's on you, I can count to 11. But yes, I know, I said bolt instead of nut and nut instead of bolt. I know, I'm not the brightest color in the crayon box, as you can say, but bear with me. You know, I'm sure you guys are smart enough to understand what I'm talking about. You know, I'm Tyler, you know, I'm not perfect, so enjoy the rest of the video. Here that you take off, it's a plate, and then yeah, we'll remove that first. Okay, we got that bolt out. Now it's time to get this bolt out. It's 17mm, and I'm using a breaker bar to kind of hold it on the ground, using this wrench, and using my BFH to break it loose. Okay, so how to install this back on. First, put this guy on. You know, what I do is put this on. I'm just gonna, just to help me out, put this bolt on. Put it on there for now. And then wiggle this in. Move this guy over. Wiggle this part in. And then I put this bolt through. Okay, for this side, take this bolt off, because you gotta put this plate on, alright? And the two bolts that connect to the chassis, you gotta torque it down to 110 foot-pounds. And the bolt, this nut is 81 foot-pounds. But I'm just gonna tighten it for now. I like to use a little bit of this, just so I don't run into situations where a bolt could snap. Just like the situation I just had with my hub. There's a bolt that snapped inside. I really pray to God that they get it done. I really don't hope I don't have to buy a new hub, so pray. So what I'm gonna do, put a little bit on the bolts and then a little bit right here, just so they don't seize up. We don't want them to seize up. We don't want that at all. Okay, this one is torqued to 81 foot-pounds. These two in the back are 110 foot-pounds, and this bolt right here is 70 foot-pounds. Now we wait for tomorrow to get the hub. Hopefully I have it back. All right, now that we have the hub back from the shop, which, thank you Mankato Honda for helping me out with that. Now normally I would have the hub already on there, but since the hub is off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place it on the ball joint first and then set it up. But if you have the hub on, what I will do is put these back two pieces on and just put the bolts on. You don't have to tighten them on, just put them on just so it doesn't move. And then I would hook it up to the bottom of the hub and lightly tap with a hammer until it's all the way in. That's what I did with the other side. But since the hub's off, but don't forget to put your CV boots in. You know, if you need a little bit of force, grab your BFH and just lightly tap. Almost on. I'm not using hardly any force. I'm literally letting the hammer do the work. We're gonna install CV boot. I'll give you torque specs here in a minute, but I'm just gonna install these just so I can get this bottom part on. Let it go on the bottom, tap it. Okay, so before I put these bolts back on, by the way, the washer goes on the top. Before I put these bolts on, I put some anti-seize on. These two bolts are 112.1 foot-pounds torque. So that's what you torque to spec, is 112 foot-pounds. Okay, now it's time to put the bolt in for the ball joint. And this is torqued. Remember, before we put this on, let's put some anti-seize on. But when you install it, the torque spec is 36.9 foot-pounds, 69. Alright, put the tie rod, outer tie rod on, and put some anti-seize on it, torque it to 40 foot-pounds. Put my sway bar link back on. If you guys don't know how to do that, I got a video for that, and I'll leave it in the description below or up there. Next is to put our caliper back on, which is, well, two bolts connect to the back to this, and then you put the two bolts back on, and it's that simple. Got the brake caliper on. Don't forget to add some grease to your sway bar links and tie rods if they have Zerk fittings. Now it's time to lower the car, and we're gonna torque this down. I'll give you the torque spec here in a bit, but we're gonna lower the car. Well, first we gotta put the tire on, then lower the car. Okay, now with the car down, this nut is torqued to 162 foot-pounds, and these are torqued to 80 foot-pounds, and then you're all done. Also, when you're done torquing it, take a flathead and just gently hammer this down so it locks it in place, and then put your little hubcap on. Glad that ordeal is over. Thank God.
There you have it, guys. 5 easy steps on how to replace your lower control arm in 2005 Subaru Legacy. Now this process works for all vehicles. I've done this many times over. One thing that I did learn about this is things don't always go according to plan. Things do tend to happen, you know, and make sure to use a lot of that TV buster. That shit helps out a lot. When those things kind of happen, because they will happen to any one of you. Because it happens to me a lot. You just have to, you know, bite the bullet and realize that this problem I'm having will pass. Just like how everything has happened in our lives, whether good or bad. So just keep pushing forward and you'll eventually get it done. You know, I've had some of those issues in the past and they kind of suck. And it kind of makes you like, sit there and like, damn, I wanted it done today, but it's not gonna be done today. But good thing we got it done. And if you guys like this content video, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys have questions, comment below and hit that like button if you guys like this video. With, you know, that being said, you know, not tomorrow, not next week or next month, but you have to make today happen if you want your life to change. Alright, peace out, guys.